Hello, everybody, everywhere. This is your Faith and Thought Coach Brainy. I am coming to you saying hello and how are you? I pray all is well with you, and I definitely, truly miss you guys. You guys are amazing, and I love you. That's it. That's all. Listen, I have to say this. I do not own the rights to any of this music in the background that you will hear. I'm just playing gospel jazz, as I say always, because it's mellow yellow and it mellows me out and gets me ready to get my snooze on, get my sleep on. Because we all work hard and we all need something that bring us down so that we can have a good night's rest, a proper rest. I wanted to also thank Miss Sonia and Miss Shira and Mom Steph for you answering the forum trivia. You guys were awesome sauce. I love you guys' answers, and they were right in the vein with what's going to be talked about this evening. Okay? All right. So, what is the attitude to be as a believer? Matthew 5:1-11 is the actual Beatitudes. Flip it around, the attitude to be. Which Jesus taught about here. And from verses 1-11. And it reads thusly: And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain. And when he was set, his disciples came unto him. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, verse 3, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. 5, Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. 7, Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Verse 8, Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Verse 9, Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Verse 10, Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Verse 11 and last verse, Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you. So because you have more so, it seems to be as if when you have a more reserved, calm, and truthful demeanor and approach to life with integrity and respect for all and seeking justice for all, then God in turn blesses you with various things, like they're not tangible, but they're not naturally tangible. Let's put it that way. But they're spiritually tangible. Like spiritual currency almost. Things that you can use throughout your life that enhance you spiritually, and it'll overflow and spill out into your natural. You feel me? Okay. So, number 1, let's deal with each one. Poor in spirit. Poor in spirit, knowing and realizing that you have a need for God to be continually in your life. It doesn't mean to be sad and droopy, but to be chill and submissive, pretty much, and realizing and reverential, realizing that God is the ultimate, and you will remain low and humble in respect of who God is in your life on a continual basis. Because if God says you don't wake up tomorrow, I'll leave that right there. If God decides to let you wake up tomorrow, but will allow a Job situation to occur in your life. Anybody know the story of Job? He lost all he had, his children. His wife told him to curse God and die, blah, blah, blah. Satan had a field day in his life, but God told Satan, you could touch everything around Job, but don't touch his soul. That type of situation. What if you woke up to that? You still would have to remain a humble, respectable, reverential type of spirit with God in order to be, in right standings, pretty much. You're not going to be boastful and all that with God, or haughty with God, like you're all that and some. And how dare God? You don't come to God like that. No, that's not the look at all, ever. Now, you can boldly come to the throne of grace and have a dialogue with God and ask questions by way of prayer. But you're not going to be disrespectful. Maintain poor and being poor in spirit, being humble. Come to him humbly. Okay. Number 2, ones who mourn. Be one who mourns. When you mourn, no, not be one who mourns. I'm sorry, I take that back. He comforts those who mourn. When you mourn, you experience a level of deep sorrow and extreme sadness. And when you experience this, God is the closest to you. He's ever so close to you. When you are at a low place of mourning. And we can mourn over, we as human beings, we mourn over various things, like the passing of a loved one. We know that. You can mourn the passing of a loved one, or a conclusion of a relationship, being terminated from your place of employment, being at odds with somebody, or in a bad place with somebody that you truly, truly love. What else? Seeing someone you wish the best, and you want them to progress in life. You see them stuck in a downward spiral, and you want to help them get out, but they have to see it for themselves, and they have to want to move forward themselves in order to get through, get to the next level in life, their next level in life. These are things that we all mourn. It brings a slight sadness to us when we go through things like that. When we see loved ones go through things like that, or we experience it ourselves. Like I said, we experience it ourselves. We go through it ourselves. A period of mourning. Let's go to Isaiah 53:4, and it says, "Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him not." I'm sorry. Let me go back, because I'm adding words, because I read several different versions. My apologies. Surely he have borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, meaning he was whipped, he was beaten, and everything else. He bore our griefs before he went to the cross. And this was foretold in Isaiah, the future of Christ before Christ even hit the scene. He was smitten of God and afflicted. He was smitten of God and afflicted. God sent Jesus as the final atonement. And this speaks of some of the things that Christ went through. So the level of mourning that Christ experienced by bearing our griefs of people past and at his current state and in his present, and also the future. So the BC, the middle, and the AD, he bore the grief of it all, of us all, for generations. And that's a heavy thing. That's something that none of us are equipped to handle. We barely want to handle our own sorrows, our own disappointments, our own sadness, our own heartaches. We don't want to even deal with our own stuff. Nonetheless, he took on for generations. Wow. That takes an extra special person to go through that without having to experience a level of depression or mental anguish. Like, he experienced it, but because of his divinity, he was able to go through it and be victorious. Human beings would not be able to handle that level of anguish. Never. All right, moving right along. Another attitude to be is being meek. We should stay meek. Meek is staying humble under various situations and circumstances that this world can throw at us, without losing our cool and lashing out, or not being prideful or having a big ego where you can't learn, or you have to always be the smartest person in the room, where you are a know-it-all and no one can tell you anything. That's not the attitude to be. You should be meek and stay humble. Somewhat of it kind of like goes hand in hand with being poor in spirit. Staying humble, staying lowly, be respectful. Like, relax. You don't have to be mean and nasty and over the top about everything. Relax. James 4:10 says, humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. So if you maintain a meek stance in life, when it's necessary and when the time is right, God will raise you up. He will elevate you. He'll put you in the place in which you need to be. You don't have to do it for yourself. You do not have to do it for yourself. You don't have to be boastful. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You don't have to always be one that has to be seen or in a light. Like, no, let God exalt you. Don't have self-exaltation. That's kind of vain. And vanity is one of the 7 sins, like one of the top 7 sins, like one of the major things that God really despises. God doesn't like it at all. And I mean, it's nothing about vanity that's cute. Not at all. Not one thing. God, he downright, he just hates it. He doesn't like it at all. Moving right along. Another attitude to be, you must have a hunger and thirst after righteousness. You must be excited about getting to know God through staying in his word and prayer. Staying in his word gives you the opportunity to know him a little better. And prayer is the way that we communicate with God. It's a conversation, it's a dialogue all day, every day. And always anticipate him revealing something new. Always anticipate him revealing something new in his word and answering your prayer. We must always anticipate his moves in our lives and throughout the world. My grandma used to always say, I wouldn't serve a God that I couldn't feel sometime. So I'm always in expectation to receive, hear, or feel something, a move of God. I'm always in anticipation of that. Because he can move at any given moment. He could talk at any given moment. He could change something. He could turn something around. He can make the impossible possible within a matter of a moment. And you never know when it's going to be your moment. The old folks have a saying, he may not come when you want him, but he's always on time. And he is. His timing is not our timing because he doesn't live within time. We do. He lives outside of time and eternity. So things are a little different over on that side. Okay? It's not like here where things are set at a time schedule. It's totally different. But anyway, going back to the hunger and thirst after righteousness, we got Isaiah 26:9. And it says, with my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. When the judgment of God is within the confines and the construct of the earth realm, then righteousness will be learned by those who don't have a clue, who don't know how to stand for righteousness, who don't know how to stand for holiness. It'll be learned. And those that don't learn when this takes place, which is the within the apocalypse time, when we're closest to the end, those who don't learn will be under the beast system, under the Antichrist system. So those that will be there and learn righteousness, it's going to be a little hard time for them, because that means that they have missed the final trumpet sound for them to be caught up. That's going to be a sad thing. But I pray that you guys who are hearing me right now don't miss that, and that you learn righteousness prior to the judgment that will hit the earth. Okay? Let's go to the next one. It says, we must learn to show mercy. That's another stance, another attitude to be. Show mercy. You never know how the tables will turn in your life. Treat others fairly. Learn to be fair. Everybody may not be your cup of tea or what have you, but You don't have to be mean or what have you. You could be cordial. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not being fake being cordial. You could be higher by. There's nothing fake about that. You don't have to be up in everybody's face, no. Because everybody has their own group of individuals that are like them. God made us all different. Everybody has their own tribe of folks that they hang with. And people like to call folks like that cliques and stuff like that. Sometimes some of them become cliquish and do the things that I'm about to talk about next, which are not nice. But try to stay away from that and show mercy and be fair. Treat others fairly. Don't look down on or belittle anyone for things they may not have materially or things they might not have knowledge of. Never make fun of anyone's lack because it could be you at any given moment. Like I said with Job, a rich man, but God turned that thing around in an instant. It was a test of his faith, and God knew that he would conquer the test, like he would pass the test. He told Satan, you could touch everything Job has, touch his body, but you will not have his soul, and you cannot have his soul. Isn't that something? You must be something special to God when the enemy has to go and ask, can he touch you? Can he bother you? To see how loyal you are to God. And God has that much trust and that much faith in you that you're going to stand that test. Go through your storm, knowing that God's going to bring you out victorious. That's something. That's something. That's saying something about who you are. So learn to show mercy, because you never know, the shoe could be on the other foot at any given moment, at any given time. We're going to go to Hebrews 4:16. It says, let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. Extend grace to others and compassion, because you could be in that person's shoes. Boldly go to God on other people's behalf. That in the time of need, he will extend mercy in time of your need. After you extend grace to someone else, in the time of your need, he will extend grace to you when you call upon him for help. Okay? All right, moving right along. Another attitude to be: have a pure heart. Yes, we're in this earth suit, we're in the flesh, but you can have pure motives. You don't always have to be, people don't have to be grimy. Everybody's not grimy. Everybody don't have to be grimy. No, you don't. No, I don't want to hear that. Everybody, I know you're saying, everybody got something. No, everybody is not grimy. I don't believe it. Everybody is not grimy. Yes, people make mistakes. And some people, they just allow the enemy to use them. They let the enemy have his way in their life. Yes, they do. But don't you let the enemy have his way in your life. Have pure heart and pure motive. Let your thoughts and your motives towards God, others, and yourself always be pure and come from a place of love and peace with empathy for others. Please. Please, please, please. Have a pure heart. You could pray, Lord, create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit in me. Because if not, he will take his love, joy, his spirit away from you. And you don't want him to take his spirit away from you. Because that means that he turned you over into yourself. Meaning, aka reprobate. You don't want that. You do not want that. So maintain a pure heart. Proverbs 22:11 states, he that loveth pureness of heart, for the grace of his lips, the king shall be his friend. Ain't that something? Ooh, that sounds good to me. Let me say it again. He that loveth pureness of heart, for the grace of his lips, the king shall be his friend. That's decent. Because you have pureness of heart, the king draws close to you and says, hey, I want to be your friend. That is so decent. That's so cool. I love it. I really love it. That's decent. That's dope. I like it. Don't you want to be that loving, pure person with a sweetheart that God, like, I dig them. I actually want to be their friend. There's a few people God was close to like that. There's Moses and Enoch, Elijah. He was close to them dudes. So close that Enoch and Elijah was translated. Caught up. Elijah was taken away in a chariot. They done escorted. They came with in a heavenly limo. You feel me? Came got him because his friend God said, "That's my friend, yo. That's my friend." I'll tell you, that got me all excited. All right, next. The next attitude to be is a peacemaker. A peacemaker. Don't go around stirring up trouble and chaos. Be one who brings peace, or if there is trouble around you, help bring it to a closure. Help bring it to an end in a calm but yet effective way. It takes a wise individual and a prayerful individual to bring peace or create an atmosphere of peace when there is no sign of it around. It takes an extra special person. And this is why you're blessed. The scripture said blessed. And I mean, you're going to be blessed. You're going to be blessed because you're bringing peace out of in the midst of a terrible situation. You're bringing a calm, a ease, a resolve to terrible situations. So yes, blessed is the peacemaker. Let's go to James 3:18. The book of James 3:18. And it says, and the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace. Peacemakers carry the fruit of righteousness. Righteousness is the fruit that they bear. I'm telling you, this is just bless my socks off. Be a peacemaker so you could show fruits of righteousness. Righteousness will be your fruit. Okay? So those who plant seeds of peace and seeds of peace will receive righteousness in return from God. And now we're on the very last one, guys. And it's only 29 minutes and 45 seconds. So let's try to end it in the next 5 minutes, okay? All right, we can do it. Being able to stand for what's right. That's the last one. the attitude to have, the last attitude, is always to be able to stand for what's right. Don't be one that just goes with the flow when you know for sure that something is wrong. Pray about it, do research, and get the facts, and stand for truth and stand for justice. Stand for what's right even if you stand alone. It's hard. Because you want to be amongst people, but if they're not about that God life wholeheartedly, then sometimes, you gotta do what you gotta do. No love lost. Just gotta do what you gotta do. So stand for what's right, even if you have to stand alone. God sees it and rewards it. I'm a living witness. God sees it and he rewards it. It may not be all lights, camera, action. Everything don't have to be lights, camera, action. Everybody want all these accolades and all this stuff on earth. I'd rather have accolades and stuff stored up for me in heavenly places. You dig? So on the other side, I want to live a nice, peaceful, respectable, integral life and relax or what have you. Just be calm. I'm a real laid back type of girl. But yeah, I stand for what's right. Even if I gotta stand alone. And I know God rewards me for it. And he has rewarded me for it. And he continues to reward me for it. You may be called the black sheep or become an outcast or left out because you stand for what's right. But remember, you are not alone. There are people like us. There that are maybe few and far in between. But when we cross paths, we don't know who we are by the love that we show. By just saying a good morning or a hello or something like that. Or just a smile or a hug. It could turn somebody's whole life around. Yep. Those type of things. Also, so if you stand alone, it's okay. It's all right. But remember, you're not alone. There are other people in this world that are praying for people like you and me. Also, you're not alone because God is with you. And you're absolutely in good company because Jesus was also an outcast and was persecuted unto death for righteousness' sake. We're going to go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 58, and this is going to be the ending of it all, okay, guys? Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. So whatever you do, whatever attitude you choose to have within the Beatitudes, know that that labor of being meek, humble, standing for righteousness, a peacemaker, all of that is not in vain. That labor, that toiling, that work is not only being empathetic for others. It's not in vain. Mourning with those who mourn, and comforting them. It's not in vain. None of it's in vain. None of it is for nothing. Yeah, we'll be persecuted for righteousness' sake, just as Christ was. I like this song, guys. I got a little distracted just that easy. Around, worship you, worship you. Anyway, I love it. I love it. I love the Lord. I love the Lord. He's changing lives. He's turning lives around. He's turning lives around. He's turning lives around. Even through this little teaching, he's turning lives around. He's making a difference in your life. He's causing you to understand a more calmer way of approaching things in your life, approaching your daily situations, approaching life, living. How to conduct yourself in a proper manner. He's teaching us with basic biblical principles. Things that are going to carry us from life to life. Meaning from this earthly realm of life to the eternal life that awaits us. Yes, indeed. I'm sorry, this song gets to me. We make miracle work, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. I could stay right here and just bask in that. But we gotta go. Well, I'm gonna let y'all go, but I might have to, go back into that worship because God is a way maker. He is a miracle worker, a promise keeper, a light in the darkness. When times are tough, when times are rough, he's a way maker, a miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. That's who he is. Yep. That's who he is. When you're not feeling well in your body, he is a way maker, a miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. That's who he is. And that's who he has been to me. I appreciate him. I honor him. I reverence him for who he is in my life and in your life too. And what he's doing in our lives, how he's changing our lives and making us better in him, causing us to grow in him. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Let me close up. When you stand firm for what's right and work hard for justice, God sees you and will reward you. Know that what you do isn't in vain. Know that what you do for Christ is what's going to last. It's the only thing that's going to count in the end. So keep your attitude in check. Check out the Beatitudes. Matthew 5:1-11. I love you all so much. Love you like cooked food. I want to see you. If I don't see you over here, I want to see you over in glory. You understand? I'm not playing with you because I love you like cooked food. There ain't nothing you could do about it. Peace.